Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt delivered the State of the State address in Oklahoma City. We have the highlights. A large earthquake devastated Turkey, killing thousands. The weather is going to drastically change once again. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Amaya Ward.
And I'm Jimmy Wicks. I know everyone has noticed the drastic weather changes from last week to this week.
I know I have. OU Nightly meteorologist Brayden Siau is here for our first look at the forecast. Brayden, what kind of extreme weather can we expect this week?
Well, right now, whenever we look across campus, you can see we've got beautiful conditions out there. Temperatures are in the 70s, and whenever we look at the rest of the state, you can see much of us are in the 60s and 70s. But this is definitely going to change as we head into later this evening and into the overnight hours, as cold returns, as well as a heavy rain threat, which will affect much of the state as we go through the next couple of days, and even the chance for some wintry weather in the northwestern part of the state. So coming up, I'll have all of this later on in OU Nightly. Back over to you at the desk.
Thanks, Brayden. Today, Governor Kevin Stitt gave the annual State address for the first time in his second term since being reelected in November. This marks the start of the legislative session and the two big issues he says plans on tackling: education and the economy. Olivia Dague is live at the Capitol with more. Olivia?
In his fifth State of State address, Governor Stitt says Oklahoma is as strong as it's ever been. And he's wanting to tackle issues like school choice, building more charter schools, bolstering higher education for the job force, and cutting taxes.
Let's fund students, not systems. Let's create more schools, not fewer schools. I want to challenge OU and OSU to grow and deliver a quality education to 40,000 students by the year 2030. In my executive budget, I am proposing to eliminate Oklahoma's state grocery tax. And reduce our personal income tax rate to 3.99%.
In terms of charter schools, many representatives in rural districts will be pushing back against using public funds for these schools. And even with Republicans in the majority, Stitt and his Republican Party are still facing tension. Moving forward will mean strengthening those relationships to get legislation passed. Reporting live from the Oklahoma State Capitol, Olivia Dague, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Olivia. Earlier today, people gathered at the Capitol for the state address by Governor Stitt. OU Nightly's Katani Gouch was there to speak to trans right protesters. Katani.
That's right. Although empty now, just hours ago, the Capitol was filled with protesters in opposition to multiple bills presented in the State of the State address this afternoon.
I'm frustrated about all of this.
The main bills being opposed are Senate Bill 129 and House Bill 1011, both of which prohibit gender transition procedures for people under the age of 21.
A lot of people here, they really just feel like their lives are under attack. They're just trying to live and mind their own business and make it through this world, and people are making it harder for them.
Demonstrators say their main goal today was to have fun and find community.
The idea behind it was that we wanted to kind of celebrate our joy because we're always having to fight for something.
Do not lose hope. Do not give up.
This isn't going to be the last anti-trans thing or anti-queer thing or anti-whatever thing that tries to go up, and we want to be here and we want to build a community for that.
Showing their resilience in a time they say is troubled.
At the end of the day, I'm someone's brother, I'm someone's son, I'm someone's best friend, and I'm a student, like, at the end of the day, just like everyone else, and we should have the same rights of, like, you know, being who we are, getting the health care we need, and just existing in the state of Oklahoma.
We're here, we're here, we're not going anywhere.
This will not be their last trip to the Capitol. They say they will be back throughout the session to oppose any other bills that are discriminatory towards them. Reporting live from the newsroom, Katani Gouch, OU Nightly.
Many residents in Norman rely on public transportation to get around. The local bus company Embark just revealed an all-new electric bus and fleet to help commuting more economy-friendly.
Policy that sets a goal of Ready for 100 is what it's called, but to set a goal of working towards being 100% renewable energy powered in Norman by 2035 or so.
The new electric bus is the first of 2 to arrive, and the city has begun experimenting with potential routes and battery life before hitting the streets.
A devastating earthquake in Turkey leaving thousands dead. The country continuing to search for survivors. OU Nightly's Liv Walbeck has the rest of today's top headlines from the News Center.
A 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck just before sunrise today in Turkey and Syria. The death count now reaching 3,500 people. Emergency responders are calling for outside support.
We need help. We need the international community to do something to help us, to support us. Northwest Syria now, it's a disaster area. We need help from everyone to save our people.
In Turkey, there are just under 14,000 people injured, while there are 2,400 injured in Syria. On Friday, a train went off its tracks, causing a large fire in Ohio. Today, officials are worried of hazardous gases that could potentially cause a fatal explosion. Residents are urged to evacuate immediately, as the gases released can burn at room temperature and infiltrate their water supply. With the fire still burning, it is unclear as to how long it will be until the scene is safe. And the search for new information regarding the suspected spy balloon from China is underway. According to CNN, some believe the takedown of the balloon was a success. Others argue it should have happened sooner. Leaders in both chambers and key intelligence committee members are working on a classified briefing that is to be scheduled later next week. Jimmy and Amaya.
Thank you, Liv. You will soon have the chance to save or splurge on movie tickets at one of America's most popular theaters.
That's right, getting that middle seat might cost you just a little bit extra.
And a unique campus feature is getting a facelift for the first time in decades.
A community engagement program is bringing new life to campus. Stay with us for more on OU Nightly. An investigation into United Airlines is ongoing. OU Nightly's Morgan Martin breaks down today's stories in Money Matters.
United Airlines under heat tonight after allegedly skipping out on performing fire safety checks. The Federal Aviation Administration says that United failed to perform the required check from June 2018 to April 2021. The FAA now proposing a $1.1 million fine. United has the next 30 days to respond. And $403 million in cash has a nice ring to it. And it's the jackpot tonight someone could win. Known as the lucky ticket, building onto that jackpot since November. They believe that this winning prize is the 5th largest in history at an estimated $747 million. And moviegoers, your favorite seat in the house might cost you an extra buck or two. AMC changing their ticket prices. They'll give out 3 options. To save a buck, you can sit at the very front, a standard price, or pay a little extra for the premium seats. The prices are set to hit the theaters by the end of the year. In his second retirement announcement, Tom Brady, you saw, was sitting at a beach, and a bottle of sand from the beach could be yours. Amaya, Jimmy, how about $100,000 for the treasure?
Wow, I'd pay that. Well, the 6 unique telephone boxes on OU's campus are soon to be up and running, fixing windows and cleaning them out. OU Nightly's Parker Abels has more on this renovation.
If you take a walk around campus, you may notice the red telephone booths. These have been a staple of the OU campus for many years, and maybe older than you think.
All of them that are on campus and on Campus Corner are real original phone booths out of England. They've been here for almost 30 years, but they're actually almost 100 years old because they were originally built in the 1920s, we think.
Since coming to campus in the late 90s, the phone booths have not been renovated, and some of the phones don't even work. But the OU Institute for Quality Communities wants to change that.
Facilities management was really interested in seeing what they can do to make sure that, just the paint on them stays nice and clean and not peeling, make sure that the windows in them aren't broken. The team here at IQC we were interested in some more transformative projects as well, like taking the phones out of them and having them be a little more actively in use.
Many students here on campus have a strong connection to these phone booths, but they do believe a renovation could be beneficial.
I remember my first visit here was on Campus Corner, and me and my buddies took some pictures up in this telephone booth, and we'll see how many people we can fit in it. I mean, honestly, it's just a really good memory for me, and I'm sure a lot of students here have a lot of good memories with this. And I mean, I don't know, does the phone work in there? It looks dirty.
I remember first time seeing them, they look super British because they have the crown on top of them. I think they would look really sick if we totally revamped them.
Parker Abels, OU Nightly.
Many university departments are in discussion for a timetable of the renovations with hopes to be complete by the start of the fall semester.
It may be a little too late for your New Year's resolutions, but there is a new healthy hangout on Campus Corner.
It seems like a great day to get a smoothie bowl, but are these high temps going to stick around, Brayden?
Unfortunately, they're not. As we head into the overnight hours tonight, the cold returns as well as a chance for rain, and I'll have more on that coming up on OU Nightly. Welcome back to OU Nightly, and as you can see right now across the state, we're sitting in the 60s and 70s for much of us, with the exception of Guyman. They're a little bit cooler as that colder air has already started to filter its way down into the state. And whenever we look at the next several hours, you can see the temperatures will start to rapidly decrease as we head into the overnight hours, sitting in the 40s by the time we hit tomorrow morning. And then look at the rain chances, they go up as well. And whenever we look at the futurecast, you can see these rain showers start to move in as we head through the later hours of this evening. And then they really start to ramp up as we head into tomorrow morning and especially into the afternoon hours, before a slight break here in central Oklahoma. And then things really start to ramp up again. And here's that wintry precipitation in northwest Oklahoma that I was talking about. And then rain continues to stream in across central and eastern Oklahoma as we go through the rest of the day on Wednesday. And then as we look at the rainfall forecast, you can see by the time we head into tomorrow morning, we should be sitting around 1/4 inch here in central Oklahoma before things really start to pick up and we really start to add these rain totals up, sitting at almost 2 inches, even over 2 inches here in the southeastern part of the state. Looking at the precip chances over the next 6 to 10 days, you can see we're sitting above average here across the center of the country. And now looking at the lows tonight, this cold air starts to filter in, bringing lows down into the 40s here in central Oklahoma. And then highs tomorrow do not get out of the 40s. Even some 50s trying to work their way in there as well across southern Oklahoma. Now looking at the next 7 days, you can see the rain chances really start to ramp up as we head into tomorrow and Wednesday, with temperatures very cold in the 40s. And then starting to warm up a little bit by Thursday before temperatures decrease again by Friday. But the sunny conditions return as we head into the weekend before a chance for rain does return to the forecast by next week. Jimmy and Amaya, over to you.
Thanks, Brayden. Most restaurants have a gluten-free option on their menu, but is that enough? OU's Campus Corner is known for its large variety of restaurants, but one new spot stands among the crowd.
New to campus in November, Mama's serves natural acai bowls, providing an alternate healthy option for those who can't easily digest pizza, pasta, tacos, or burgers that are found along Asp Avenue.
Still to this day, I struggle with finding gluten-free places, what I can eat. I still have to change and alter things everywhere I go, really. So that's why I love specifically acai bowl places and places like Mama's.
Mama's is open weekdays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. right off Boyd Street. The Super Bowl is just 6 days away. I know I'm excited. What about you, Jimmy?
Amaya, I'm very pumped for the game on Sunday. OU Nightly's Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche is live in Phoenix to give us a first-hand preview on the big game. Dacoda?
Yeah, here in Phoenix, there are a lot of former Sooners in the big game. Find out who and what's going on after the break.
I'm Milena, Semere, and it's time for sports. We're less than a week away from Super Bowl 57, and we have all live coverage this week. Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche and Pierce Loeffelholz are live in Phoenix with all things regarding the big game. Dacoda, Pierce?
Yeah, we are live here in Phoenix, Arizona from the Phoenix Convention Center where over 70,000 people flooded the building for the Super Bowl experience the past couple of days.
Yeah, man, it's been a great time, and both teams and many fans will be headed to the Footprint Center tonight for the opening ceremonies and many other events later this week. Tonight, the Super Bowl week opens with a big ceremony inside the home of the Phoenix Suns. The Kansas City Chiefs will take the stage first with OU alum Orlando Brown slated to be on the main riser with many other Chiefs players like Patrick Mahomes. Then NFL MVP finalists Jalen Hurts and Lane Johnson representing the Sooners will take the stage for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of it right now. Now, the Sooners have the most former players in the big game this Sunday, so Pierce and I will have more throughout the week. In Phoenix, Arizona, for Pierce Loeffelholz, I'm Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche, OU Nightly.
There's only one #1 women's gymnastics team in the nation, and they're right here in Norman. Following their conference home opener win against Iowa State, the Sooners hold the top spot for the 5th week in a row. Oklahoma heads to Fort Worth for the Metroplex Challenge on Saturday. And all they do is win, and that rings true for the number 16 OU women's basketball team, who won against WVU on Saturday, 93-68. Skylar Van led the Sooners with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Next, Oklahoma hits the road to take on Baylor in Waco and hope to win their 3rd straight game. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. The game airs on ESPN+. And Houston had a problem on Saturday when the Thunder blew them out of the 405, 153-121. OKC set a franchise record for points in a game, and first-time All-Star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander set the tone for OKC. Playing in only 3 quarters, he ended the night with 42 points. The Thunder takes on Golden State in the Bay Area tonight at 9 p.m. Jimmy, Amaya, sports wasn't the only thing on TV this weekend. What were you watching?
I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I was glued to the Grammys last night.
Believe it or not, Amaya, I was too, and all the stars were out, but see how one artist stole the show and fans' heart for the first time when we come back.
I'm Emmery Johnson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Norman police are looking for suspect Jordan Young, a 20-year-old white male. Young is charged with domestic assault and battery with a deadly weapon and by strangulation. Young was in a relationship with a minor, and after they broke up, Young attacked the victim. Anyone with information of his whereabouts should call Norman PD immediately. Amaya and Jimmy.
Thank you, Emmery.
Thanks, Emmery. Last night marked the 66th annual Grammy Awards.
I know, I could not be more excited about the winner for Album of the Year. Harry Styles has officially taken home the most sought-after Grammy of the Year. For his album, Harry's House, Styles was able to conquer the awards by winning Album of the Year.
Me personally, I'm kind of glad he won. I was rooting for Harry at the end, and I was actually watching it, which is really weird because I usually watch sports, but it was on and I was watching it.
Well, I'm glad you were able to give us some of your time.
I love that?
Harry. I
That's
saw him in
crazy.
concert. He was the best.
You lucky dog.
Yeah, it was great. Well, let's take one last look at our forecast for the evening.
Brayden, what are we looking into this week?
Unfortunately, these warmer temperatures that we have right now are not going to stick around. You can see as we head over the next several hours, they really start to drop off into the 40s by tomorrow morning, and our rain chances really start to increase as well. And whenever we look at the rainfall totals that we're expecting over the next couple of days, you can see by tomorrow morning about 1/4 of an inch here in Norman. But these really start to add up as we head through the rest of the day on Tuesday into Wednesday, even potentially looking at over 2 inches of rain here in southeastern Oklahoma. And with the pattern in place right now, we could be talking about above average precipitation over the next several days. And then whenever we look at the 7-day forecast, you can see the rain clears out by this weekend with another chance coming in by Monday of next week. Over to you at the desk.
Thank you, Brayden. Well, thank you all for watching OU Nightly. I'm Amaya Ward.
And I'm Jimmy Wicks. Be sure to tune in to OU Nightly live every day at 4:30 p.m. Good night.